Welcome to today's video. I'm really excited about it. We are taking a look at the Fenty number 9 and it screams fall. Now it's still egregiously, unbearably hot here and I have the fan on. I apologize. I've turned it down so it won't be as loud. What can I say, you guys? It's gonna be in the 90s for the rest of the week, and who knows what's coming up next. But I know in some places, I saw somebody say, I think it was Jessica Braun, said it was like in the 50s or the 60s when she went running the other day. I'm like, wow. I can't imagine how lovely that must feel. But these colors right here are the colors we want to bring into play for fall. I think I'm going to do 2 looks with this. I haven't played with it really. I can say this, it reads really, really fall, and in person I'm really happy with what I'm seeing, because online, on the Sephora site, this color looks purple, and purple and I just really have a hard time. It has to be very specific for it to work on me. So what we have here is 3 mattes on top and 3 shimmers on the bottom row, and let's do some swatches. This is the bottom row. And there you have it. And even on the hand, I'm not getting a purple vibe. It is more wine, yay, brown wine, and a creamy kind of color that I don't think you can see. It's there, but it's super, super close to my natural skin tone. And it's so different from me. That's what's making it so exciting, I think. This is the top row. And there is the top row. Again, you can hardly see that shimmer shade. And this is the blushy, pinky, terracotta, and another brown, but this brown has a shimmer in it. Honestly, this brown and this brown, pretty darn similar to each other, I would say. So let's get into it, you guys, and just put some of this on and see what happens. I'm going to do what I would normally do, which is recede the hood, the whole thing, and then for my second look, I'm going to do, I was kind of inspired by my Money video where I followed what Mariah Carey did, Mariah Leonard did, and I'm going to do my second application will be just something totally unlike me, just putting things in different places just for fun. But for what I'm going to do now, I'm going to mix this matte with this because this is a little too dark for me. And let's see what happens. The eyes are kind of primed, so whatever sunscreen or foundation I have left over that kind of made it to the lids, I powdered. And that's my idea of a prime. And I'm using the Sonia G brushes. This is not what I usually do in this position, but I'm just trying to, you know, break out of any habits that I have and explore. One thing I can say right now that I love about this palette is they do have that cream color in it, so if something is too dark for me, I can just, whoops, put more cream. Like I didn't have enough cream in this one, it's okay. I wish all palettes had a cream in it. Now I've receded the hood a little bit, and I actually like this brown tone on me. Browns are really hard for me. I think this one is very nice. Okay, doing things a little bit differently. I'm going to take another shader brush, but this one is smaller, and I'm going to go in with the wine color. And I am also wearing my Fenty Hydrating foundation today, which I haven't put on in a long, long time because I'm so in love with my Reboot and in the same kind of format as the Fenty White. And I did buy this probably last September, and I had to kind of bronze it up a little bit because it's a little light for me, but I think I got something pretty decent going. And I'm bringing this into the so-called crease. Of course, when the dye is open, oh, you can't see it, but that's okay. We're working on it. Are you guys feeling any essence of fall coming into play? I mean, do you have that fall smell, or do you see trees or plants beginning to let you know it's on the way? I love the smells of fall. I love the smell of the fireplace. I don't have one, but I love when I, you know, walk loosey and I can smell other people's fires going. Oh, nothing better. There we go. I'll do the other side and I'll be right back. I'm just going to pull this up a little bit, just going in circular motions. So it's a teeny bit more smoky when the eyes are open. And I may have pulled it out a little bit more, but we'll even it up later. I'm just kind of laying down the basics and getting the hood looking like it's pushed back. So I need a little more darkness right here as well. When I saw this color story, it reminded me immediately of Lisa Eldridge's lipsticks that came out, I think, last fall. And I didn't get any. I should have gotten them all just for the channel, but I just wasn't so sure, you know? And I hemmed and hawed and looked, and that's what I do. I'm a Virgo. I'm crazy. And I kept on looking at different videos and at different swatches, and finally I decided, okay, I think I'm going to get this shade and this shade. And of course, those are the shades that were sold out. But there was something, I can't think of the word, and I thought I might by the time I sat down here, but there is, if you go into any kind of photo program, like even in your Apple computer, there is an image, a filter that you can put on your images to make it look like it's something that comes from the early 20th century, that kind of brownish, my God, this kind of a color. It's an antiquing, and there is a word for it. I can't remember what it is, and that's what those lips look like to me, and that is what this palette looks like to me, and the lip that came with it, which we're going to be doing as well. And I really like it. Is it called sepia? Maybe it's the sepia thing, but it's just kind of fun. And just keep on blending until you feel like you're getting what you want. So I think what I'm going to do now is a little under, just a little. I'm going to try this one. And just pat it down. Let's do something with this. I normally wouldn't, but just to show you what it looks like. It's very, very pretty. It has a bit of a rosiness to it. I do think that this would look very, very pretty on top of the plumber color, the plum E color. You know what? Let's go ahead and put this on the lid ever so slightly close to the line, and then bring it up over the ball. Another thing that she did with this release were colored mascaras, and I have done and do love kind of a burgundy, a grape, eggplant kind of mascara, and I usually get it in the Clinique, but it's not waterproof at all. So if you get like a piece of dust and you start doing this and your eyes water, it's all over the place. But worse than that is I never go through the whole thing every year. And these come in, I think, full sizes and the mini sizes for $14, which I think is a great alternative. But I went for a different alternative a couple of months ago. This is Maybelline Snapscara, and I don't know what the color is called, but it says R001. They also have one in green, and I've never tried a green mascara before. And the reason I like this kind of mascara is it's not incredibly obvious, but it is really nice for bringing out the color in your eyes, I think. And it's a pretty mascara. Now, instead of pulling you in, I'm just going to move in so you can get an idea of what is going on here. Eyes open, eyes closed. I'm sure it's a hot mess with the eyes closed because it always is. I really want to go into this. So, I mentioned in my money video, which is her green palette, that I'm going to shake this up because when it arrived, it was boiling hot. That this is kind of what I was expecting from the Patrick Ta, the blush and lip that came out in 4 colors recently. I got the dark one, hoping that I would get something kind of like this. and I didn't. It had a lot of blue in it, and it looked more berry, where this does not look berry. And it's a fine line. Here it is right here. To me, this is absolutely more of a Merlot color than a berry color. Something about this, I've tried it once, and you know, I have this formula in the red, which I love, in the orange, and a bright pink, and I don't have a problem with this applicator, but I don't know if it's because this color is so dark that this application takes a lot more time for me. So we'll see how much I'm going to show you, but I certainly want to give you an idea of the color. And I'm just going to dot this on when I come over here, because this is the lip that is a little thinner. Suddenly the whole look changed, right? Just that lip changed everything. Now, I don't hate it. There's something about this that I kind of dig. Let me do my concealer and my brows. And by the way, I was thinking one fun thing you could do with this is to make it kind of 1920s, is doing your brow a little bit straight. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that myself, but if you want to kind of put a little concealer at the end of your tail and try to straighten, pull it up a little bit to make it a little bit straight, I think it can look so cool. I'll be back. This isn't too dissimilar to a Biba look, and with Biba they would have a huge flush of color on their cheeks as well. It's like more is more when it comes to Biba, you know what I mean? More is the way you do it, but for me there's something, I don't know, I kind of like it without a blush. Because my Fenty foundation is too light, I did some bronzing, and I thought as long as I'm doing it, I did some contouring before I started. There's no blush on, but I do have some redness in my cheeks that is coming through. But I did the Fenty because it's a fuller foundation, and I thought with these kind of colors, you really want to cancel out most of your redness because it might make your whole face look a little bit red, but the undertone to this isn't too red. So I'm not sure if I'm right or wrong in that assumption. And I did notice when I put on that lipstick, all of a sudden everything changed. It does look like one of those vintage photographs on my face. It also kind of changed the look of my teeth, which are looking a little strange. That's a weird color. I don't know, you guys. I think this is a cool look. Fall is here. I am ready, for sure. Now, is this an everyday look? For me, I probably would. I mean, I don't care. But I know the lip is dramatic. I know. This would be a look, though. I'm not sure if you can share it out, but I think for my next look, I'm going to give it a try. And now you can see there's more warmth to my skin. It doesn't look quite as gothic as it did when I just had one light on, and the doors open just like a foot and a half just to try to keep the hot air from coming in here. But yeah, this looks far more approachable, I hope, seen with just no lights at all, and the skin tones are coming through, and I don't look quite as scary. I think you can wear this. I really do. I really do. I'm really excited about this palette, I have to say. I like it better than the green one. So let's see what else I can do with it. I think we got to get 2 looks out of this. This is obviously a look. I'm back and I'm ready to do the second look, but I'm not sure it's going to be very subtle or daytime. But before I do, I just want to talk about this a little bit because I've been thinking about it. The look I did was so pretty and lasted all day long, and I really enjoyed it. But to me, this is the color that really makes it work. This brown and this brown are just so close to each other. One's a shimmer and one's a matte, and see my Wayne Goss video. When you only have 6 pans, you have to make them work, and that doesn't make sense to me. This, I love a cream. This is inner highlight, and this is pretty. I used it under the eye, and it's fine. But none of these are incredibly special. This is the star of the show, and I started to think, this is so familiar to me. I think I might already have something like that in the Love palette. Right here. Now if you don't have the Love palette, then it doesn't matter. But if you do, you might be thinking, maybe I don't need to get this palette. So this is the Fenty, and this is Natasha Denona Love. I think they are incredibly similar. Now the formula of this one in Natasha Denona is the creamed powder, which can be a little fussy. So I don't know if you can get the same outcome, but the shades are very similar. And then I started thinking about this one, because this has really interesting shades in it that make me love this palette. Without this palette's like, okay, I've been there. But these two colors are really unique, and this color might be kind of similar to the Fenty color. So this is a different undertone. It's also that cream to powder finish, as far as I can tell. I'm beginning to sweat a little bit, so hard to tell. Fenty, Love, Bronze. Now the undertones of these two might be a little bit different, and it matters because a color like this, you blend and blend and blend until it's kind of sheared out, so that sheerness is the undertone. And really, makeup can oftentimes be just about, especially eye makeup, just about, although foundation too, the undertone. If the undertone just doesn't work for you, a look goes from potentially fantastic to not so much. Let's get into the Fenty. I'm going to start with this inner corner kind of highlight color and put it on the inner third of my lid. I'm not going to be doing a daytime look necessarily. I've decided I want to just apply in a way that I normally wouldn't, because, you know, that's where we learn. We might find something different that works for us that we hadn't thought of. And I'm using just a fluffy brush. I'm going to go in with this color, the pinker color, and put it right up here. I'm just going to go pretty light. And I'm going to try to do this pretty quickly because I've already edited a lot of this video and it's long. And now I'm going to go in with this brown shimmer that I'm kind of perplexed by. I'm not really sure what to do with it. I'm going to use it. And I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a C. So I'm going to go under the eyes a little bit as well. And start again with a light hand. One of the reasons I really like these Fenty palettes, the idea of them, is because they're inexpensive, and I think that they are approachable if you're new to makeup or if you want to have a little fun but big palettes are just too much for you. So I'm doing about the outer third on the lid. But I will say these are, you know, they're not the best shadows in the world, but they're certainly not the worst. They're not powdery, and I never get fallout, but I do have to blend quite a bit. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'll be back. All right, I have done my brows. I've done a little liner. I've done some mascara, and I've blended, I think, pretty well. I also did some blush, by the way. I got the Patrick Ta in the darker color. I had always thought, what's the point? It looks like a bronzer, but you know what? I think I kind of get it, and I think it works really well with this eye because we are going to go in with the lip, and I feel this eye is a little strong, the lip's going to be a little strong, and I want the blush to be a little bit not strong. So here's a look. I'll close in right now. And let's move on to the lip. For the lip, I'm going to try to sheer it out, and this is a tricky thing. The first thing I'm going to do, this is from Revlon, it's just a gloss. Oh, it's a balm. I'm going to try to sheer it out. The gloss is going to help me, hopefully. I'm going to put some on and spread it around with a brush, and then we'll see what happens. I'm not going to be super precise. When you try to be too precise, it can end up looking really hard. And that's not always the look you want. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I don't think I really got this to be incredibly transparent. It's pretty much the same, not quite as dark as the other application. But I do think this look is absolutely fall. And I do think that when I put on this lip, once again, everything just kind of changed. So I'm going to see if I can make a change to my lights. The sun's beginning to come out now. It's kind of overcast today. The minute the sun starts to come out, everything kind of warms up. Let me turn that light off and see if that helps. It's crazy how different things look. So now I just have my door open and my backlight is off and my regular light is off, and it's not quite as scary as when I have the lights on. It's not quite as hard, and I think it's totally fall, and I am totally ready for it. I hope I might have given you some inspiration. I really like this color. I don't think I have anything just like this, as I noted earlier. And I really like this palette. And there we have it. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. This is a long one, so more than a few. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.